What's up, guys? Back with another video today. The movie I'm gonna review. I'm not a. This franchise isn't exactly an A-lister franchise. These movies are no classics, and they will age poorly in the future. Not many fans like them. They're more fans of the games. But I like the first movie and maybe the second movie. Third one was okay, but after that, the franchise just goes to shit. But I do own the other movie because I had to have them because part of collection. But I like this first one. It came out when I was younger. My parents saw it in theater. They liked it. But Resident Evil. Um, this was released in 2002. It is 100 minutes. So, the original draft for this movie, George A. Romero, the guy who made Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and fucking Land of the Dead, the awesome zombie creator, he wrote drafts for this movie, and his drafts acknowledged the game characters. They actually had the game characters. They actually had the iconic mansion. It didn't have any of this bullshit about fucking Alice or action. And the music wasn't rock. Like, I don't got a problem with rock music. Hey, rock music in horror movies is fucking badass, you know. But the music he originally had was gonna be industrial music, kind of like how the games were. Like, there was no rock music in the games. It was just soothing instrumental music. Um, but and also it was gonna this movie was gonna be really really gory and bloody like the games were, but because they afraid it's gonna get slapped with an NC-17, so they decided just to reject him. You got Paul W.S. Anderson who directed Mortal Kombat. Now I'm not saying this movie's bad. No, this movie's it's not perfect. It's far from perfect. It's far from perfect, but it's not great at all. It's not great. It's not, oh my god, it's an A-lister movie. No, it's not, oh, it's considered one of the greatest. No. Um, I can do it. I can do it this movie. This movie's good. Like, I can watch this one. It's really good. Yeah. So this, it's about this virus that gets let loose into this little mansion that they work at. And, um, it goes into the air. It goes airborne, starts in, the computer starts killing everybody. It traps them all in, and then the story shifts to Alice, this lady right here in the red dress, and it actually shifts to a bunch of people that are commandos, that are military, like mercenaries. They rescue Alice and this other guy, and you know, they get word that something happened down here, so they go and investigate, and they happen to come, and that's when they find the zombies, the lickers, and it's all because somebody cut the power. When the raccoon told him, you're all going to die down here." He shoves her off. He cuts the power, and he lets the zombies loose. Basically, so people start getting killed. Like the laser part starts killing people. Well, this guy gets bisected and lasers, kind of like in which is pretty badass. Yeah. And there's even zombie dogs in here. It's lickers. Yeah, there was action in here. Yeah, there was fighting in here, but it should have been more like, yeah, you know. And they included rock music when it's happening. Yeah, I didn't mind it. Like I don't mind rock music in horror movies. I mean, Freddy vs. Jason, I had a badass soundtrack. But I don't know. But like yeah, like I said, like when they're fighting the zombies, it was pretty cool. But then it just started shifting to Alice. Like she did a roundhouse. She climbed up the wall, did a roundhouse kick, and kicked a dog in the face. So everyone gets killed off. And the guy that liked her, supposedly liked her, the marriage was a fake. Turns out that he's the one that he set the virus loose into airborne. He killed everyone. And it's basically rumors that yeah, like he was actually listening in on her conversation, like, oh well, she wanted to bring the corporation down. She used to work for the Umbrella Corporation, the villainous, and she wanted to bring the company down, and all that to get the virus. And the guy overheard it, so he decided, no, I'm just gonna do it myself. So it turned out, yeah, he was a traitor and all that. He gets killed by a liquor. So the remaining survivors, which is Michelle Rodriguez, she gets bitten. Uh, she gets bitten, But she basically like the last one to die. She's basically the last one to die after so it's this other guy named Kaplan who cuts he takes him on the train, but he gets killed too. And then that's when Michelle Rodriguez gets killed. She gets killed too. This other guy, and then the other guy right here, the one with the muscle shirt, he starts with her, but he becomes mutated. He starts mutating, so they take him away. So technically, she's the only survivor. She wakes up in this room. She has like things inside of her. She has like things covering her parts, and then she finds out that nobody's there. That she wakes up in the hospital. It's empty, and so she goes outside. She sees she sees the city's all trashed. The buildings are all full of blood and all that. She gets a gun from a cop's car, and she cocks it, and then the camera pans out and it shows her just standing in the middle of the wreckage, and then you know, but yeah, she's standing in the middle of the wreckage, and it does that theme song. The theme song for this is pretty cool. The theme song is pretty cool, but but yeah, the theme song's not that bad. It's pretty cool, but so yeah, after that, she's acting as a survivor, so you know, after it, and then it just ends, and the credits would roll with a Slipknot song. Which Slipknot is a badass rock band, metal band, and they're awesome, and all that. Yeah, like it's the song that they play is called "My Plague," and it's really badass. Like I like Slipknot; they're a badass band. There's even a music video for that song. Um, so what do I feel about this? Well, I never really played the games when I was younger because I was young. So but I saw this when I was a kid, and it scared the shit out of me. I like this movie. I used to like Afterlife when I was younger, 'cause I was ignorant. I was ignorant. I was a dumb teen. So I just liked them just because of how silly they were. But I look at the later movies now; they're not that great. They're not great anymore. Like this franchise ain't great. This was never a great franchise, but this movie is really good. Um, I know that some people were actually disappointed with this movie or this franchise, and I know some people said this franchise is hot garbage. I agree, and they are gonna reboot it. Hopefully, they follow the games this time. But this movie wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. At least they had the mansion. At least they had the mansion in it. But just the later movies, they started focusing on Alice. They overpowered her. They had these weird plots about underwater like facilities and fucking clones and shit. He had like this guy that was obsessed with this virus. But yeah, it just got weird stuff. And you started getting these monsters and all that. Like I get it, and they stopped lacking the scares and started focusing more on action, which is not the style of the games. The games were survival horror. Like yes, they had gun shooting and all that, but there was no explosions. There was literally zombies killing you, monsters and shit. The fucking action and the acting in these movies are just terrible. I'm sorry. The CGI is bad. The effects are bad. Characters just all suck. The game characters are thrown to the side. Like in the fourth movie, like okay, this movie okay. I didn't mind it. Like I said, I didn't mind this movie. Did I like the characters? Not really. But I didn't mind this movie. I didn't like the characters. Like I said, Alice, I didn't mind, but I don't know, just the fact that they just used her a lot. Like nobody wants to see this lady. This lady was never in the games. Give the fans what they want. But like I said, the later movies, yes, like Apocalypse, I can do with. They had Jill in there, and in Part 3 they didn't show her again. Part 4 they didn't show her again. It wasn't until Retribution when they showed Jill, and then they didn't show her again until in the last movie. Like what the hell? What you do with these characters? Um, yeah. And like, another one, you had Chris Redfield only in that one Resident Evil movie, and then after that, like when the movie ends on Arcadia, like when Retribution begins, he's nowhere to be seen again, or Part 6. It's like yeah, it's like they wanted to focus on her instead of on actual game characters. I get it, yes, but really, come on. But like I said before, this movie is watchable. It's tolerable. You know, Apocalypse is actually tolerable too. Extinction, after that, the franchise just goes downhill from there. Yeah. Like I said, I used to like the later movies, but I watch them now and they're not that great now. They're not good now. I haven't really watched these. I didn't really watch these a lot either. I'm gonna be watching this during the October during the the Halloween time. You know, uh, but maybe just this one, maybe part two. But like I said, this has a good soundtrack. You know, but yeah, they are remaking this franchise, and hopefully they follow the games, and hopefully they give it the blood and the gore that they demanded. You know, but yeah, this movie, yeah, it says Jovovich is a first-rate action heroine. You could have, I don't know, like on Facebook, I even tell people, you guys say the Halloween from sequels got worse. Resident Evil was already worse to begin with. Look at Resident Evil. This franchise was already bad to begin with. People were let down. The fans were just disappointed. People literally say, people literally have this as one of the worst franchises ever made. And, it's not hard to see why. I can tell people, terrible acting, terrible effects, terrible CGI, overpowering Alice, over editing camera shots, pointless, boring action scenes. The character of Alice is boring, but that's just me. But like I said, this one's watchable. So that was my review into Resident Evil. What do you guys think of this movie? Good, bad, decent, okay, tolerable, whatever? Let me know your 2 cents. I'll be back with more videos. Tomorrow's October 1st. Today's September 30th. So on October 1st, I'm really gonna be reviewing horror movies a lot. So stay safe, guys, during this pandemic. Endure it and all that. Just the usual. Wash your hands. Keep 6 feet apart and all that. Um, so yeah. So horror lives on. Signing off.